What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we have the last quarterfinals matches of Pogchamps 2. That means that tomorrow we're starting the semifinals, so if you guys want to stay updated, make sure you subscribe. Now, in the quarterfinals match today, we have itsHafu against Forsen. itsHafu is one of the strongest players in the whole tournament, so it's definitely going to be a hard challenge for Forsen, but let's see what happens. itsHafu started with the white pieces and goes ahead and plays the Italian game with bishop c4. Now, with bishop c4 and your knight on f3, there's a lot of times chances to attack this f7 square. In fact, in this opening, after a couple of moves, you'll notice that black does this empty attack. It's empty because obviously this is just going to be a trade, and obviously you don't want to take here, so this isn't really an attack. But the point that I want to make is that white, targeting the f7 square, can do a very nice tactical idea, which is sacking the bishop and then playing knight to g5 check. The second that the king moves, not only did you win a pawn, you also weaken the pawn structure next to the king, and also the king can no longer castle. So this would be very nice for itsHafu to find, but instead she ends up playing c3, another good idea, trying to go ahead and push d4, which will give her a very nice center, which she actually manages to get. And here there is another tactical opportunity. So try to see if you can find it. You can do it technically in two ways. The first way is just d5. The knight has to move, and then you have this check, forking these two pieces. And the second way is by first playing queen a4. I think they're both basically the same. And the point is, obviously, you can't take here yet, but now whatever they do, you can now play d5. If the knight moves, you can take the bishop. If the knight doesn't move, you take the knight. So you're going to win some material. So that's one tactical find, and actually itsHafu does find this. She ends up getting a very good advantage from the start, but what you'll notice is that black manages to use that advantage and at least get something from it. So black managed to get a very weak king, very weak king for white from this trade that happened. So now black already has an idea of queen to h4, taking advantage of how weak this king is, and then if white takes the seemingly free piece, there's a very nice way to not only draw the game, because this is obviously forced draw, but actually in this position, and once you go here, you can even try to go for mate with bishop h3. So there is an idea to attack here with queen h4, but instead Forsen decides to take away the knight from danger and just goes ahead and plays knight to e5. So here already itsHafu has an advantage in material, and now she just quadruples that advantage by obviously taking the free blundered piece here, the free blundered queen, I should mention. So in this position, it's completely winning, and especially itsHafu, she's going to be able to close this game out. In fact, she does it in very good fashion. She follows all the principles that you should follow if you have a huge amount of material advantage, which is trading. So here she plays a beautiful move, trying to initiate a lot of trades. So the knight moves here. Well, now there's two trades that can happen. In fact, two trades that do happen. And so she's done a very nice job of simplifying the position. Here she goes ahead and just takes away the queen for the rook, which is completely fine because you have such a winning position regardless that you just want to make it a little bit more simple and obviously less complicated. She ends up promoting to a queen, using that queen to take away the other rook. And from here, it's a very quick mate that she finds, and we're moving on to game two. Forsen has the white pieces. We go ahead and see e4, and then we see e6, the French defense, and now we see c4. This is not typically what you want to do. It's very rare, but the point is obviously very clearly to stop the move d5, which is what you want to do when you play the move e5 or e6. Sorry, d5 is played regardless, and now a pawn is blundered here. But white does manage to counterattack for that pawn with this nice attack here, but it doesn't lead anywhere because you can defend it in a number of ways, one of them being simply queen to e7. The knight develops, both knight develops. Another pawn is blundered here, but what you'll notice is that this pawn here is going to get captured sometime soon, because you'll notice that a pawn in a heart of white's development is going to get captured because black is going to try to use all of its resources to defend it, and that's going to harm black in the long run. So you'll notice that white can easily attack it by moving out pieces, castling, getting rooks here, moving queens out, and even the bishops attacking it. So white can very easily attack this pawn, but black doesn't have pawns on the side to defend it. So black's going to have to commit to defending it with, for example, this knight here. This pawn was already blundered, so I don't know why white didn't take, but the point is that regardless, most likely this pawn's going to fall eventually, because notice that, again, white's attacking it more, and black's going to have to commit these two pieces. Now these two pieces are stuck. They can't move, because then you're going to blunder a pawn. So that's the idea with having a pawn so far up. It's going to be hard to defend it. Nonetheless, we see actually a lot of pieces defending it, so black does do a good job of keeping it, but then we see a beautiful, just really nice knight to e5 move, forking these two pieces. Obviously, the pawn is being attacked twice, so once the queen moves, you win the pawn, which forks the rooks as well, so that's even more material. Black tries to counterattack, which doesn't end up working out because of f3. The bishop moves back. Before you take one of these pieces, you first do an intermediate move. So Forsen's playing great chess. Then he takes, obviously the king takes. And now we go ahead and see king h1. What is the idea? It's a very nice tactical move by Forsen, because what you're going to want to do is obviously take the knight here with this discovered attack on the queen. But the problem is that if the bishop takes, it's obviously coming with check. So first you move the king, making this possible. itsHafu does see this and moves the queen away, stopping this move to come with the discovery. So this was a great tactical position by both players, and they found some great ideas. There's a trade that happens here of pawns, and then also a minor piece, and then a rook gets traded. The bishop moves back, and now we see a very nice move by itsHafu, which is queen to d8. The bishop moves back, queen back to d7, threatening a fork of the bishop. Obviously, in this position, you don't want to do a draw, because then that means that itsHafu actually gets the win, because she won the first game and drew the second game, so that's obviously a win. So you don't want to do a draw, so you keep the bishop here in the game, I think. So king to g1 was played. Instead of doing the fork immediately, first we see h6, but now we see the fork winning a piece, and it's just, there's not much more to say. With if itsHafu, if she gets an advantage, even a small one like this, she's going to be able to carry it out. She actually does a very nice endgame. She does really good in the endgame, promoting another piece. The queen moves here, and not only did he run out of time in this position, but he would have lost regardless. So this is how the game ends. itsHafu won both matches, or both games, winning the match. And, well, that's how it ended. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe if you want more of these Pogchamps coming at you every single match. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.